Hey everybody, it's James here from the Sawyer Family Reviews channel, bringing you a new Mezco 1/12 collective figure review. Haven't done one of these at the channel in a while, so hopefully I'm not too rusty at it. Just got Gambit yesterday, thought we'd take a look at him. Let's start off with the box. This is the current style of Mezco 1/12 boxes, where it's got the sleeve that lifts up and reveals the figure underneath. Now, the thing I don't like about that is that the figure underneath, if you're one of those collectors that never wants to open the box, it's got all those wrappings and stuff, so you don't really get a good look at him unless you take him out of the box anyway. That's not a big deal to me since I open him up, but I would be interested to hear if there are people that collect Mezco 1/12, like in the box, if they actually take that stuff off when they just keep them in the box to be able to even look at the figure, or if they consider that like, you know, breaking the seal or something like that. So that sleeve just lifts up and has the regular box underneath. We've got the 1/12 collective logo done in like a glossier print up top. The whole box is like a flat black with this nice pink detailing, which is reminiscent of Gambit's pink highlights on his costume. The side panel is also done in pink with a glossy Gambit logo there, and I don't know if it'll catch the light. Yeah, there you can see it. So that's done in more of a gloss against this pink. When you're looking at it dead on, it looks like it's just a printed black Gambit outline, but it's actually that they did that logo in gloss, which is a nice little classy touch. The back of the box shows Gambit and all his accessories, his extra hands, his base, and then some product shots down below. It's a plain, minimalist type of style. I know I've been saying that a lot lately with those 20th anniversary Marvel Legends figures, but that's what it is. I mean, there's not a lot of flashiness going on in the front, not much going on the sides. These are classy boxes, where if you set a bunch of them on the shelf, you'd have, you'd know exactly which character it was going to be. I do like that they do different color styles for each box, like colorways that match the characters. And in Gambit's case, this bold pink color is very fitting for the character. And I love that they're collector friendly. There's not even tape along the top of the box. You really can just open this guy up, take him out, and put him right back in. All right, so speaking of taking him out, let's take a look at Gambit out of the box. Here we go with Gambit out of the box. First impressions, I really, really like this figure a lot. There are some Mezcos that I get, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. I wish they wouldn't have done this. I wish they wouldn't have done that. Or some that just knock my socks off, where it's like, wow, that's a fantastic figure. I felt like a lot of the Wolverines, I'll get out and I'll go, well, I wish they'd have done this different. They kind of Mezcoed up a little too much on the outfit here, or did something here. The Jim Lee Cyclops I was really happy with, but I wish he had trunks. The Mezco Dark Knight Returns Batmans I really loved. Those I didn't really have a problem with. This one, I get it out of the box and immediately I'm just like, you know what? I wouldn't change a thing. This is exactly what I want this Mezco Gambit to be. Some people are complaining about the torso armor interfering with articulation, but it doesn't bother me at all. For the overall look of the character, it's just really, really awesome. We're going to get into the articulation in just a moment here. I'm going to take the coat off actually to do that. But I wanted to show you this coat to begin with. The coat is really nice. It's got this fake leather material. The strap is actually sewn down, so it kind of hangs there. It has a plastic belt buckle. I think it feels plastic, yeah, but it looks metal. He's got all this nice stitching and seaming here. And then he's got this different material here on the lapels that has this nice ribbing to it. And it's not like a leather material like the rest. It feels almost like a fake suede or something. And he's got wires throughout. He's got wires here at the collar, and he's got a wire that runs down it so you can get that nice flipped up posing look to him. Just really, really cool job on the jacket. The rest of the outfit, I think we should wait until we get the coat off of him to do that. But just for the overall look with the coat, this worked out great. And sometimes coats look kind of bulky too when they're fabric over a figure, but this is like just form-fitting and incredibly well done. I really like this coat and the way it looks on the figure. Let's get the coat off though. Okay, now we got that coat off, we can talk a little bit more about the design of the figure itself and the outfit. Gambit, he's been drawn different ways. He's been drawn in different styles. Sometimes in animation he had pink sleeves with black highlights on them. Sometimes he's drawn with black sleeves and pink highlights. So it's kind of an outfit that is open to interpretation. But, Mezco's still stuck pretty close to the classic Gambit design. He still has these purplish pink highlight stripes on both the legs, and then they even put a couple on the arm. Even though those are hidden by the coat, they still did a lot of detailing on this arm. They Mezcoed it up a little bit, where Mezco does sort of that black rubbery highlight on top of spandex to give the, I don't know, more of a cinematic feel to the outfits. They did it with Cyclops. I'm going to read Cyclops over here too. So Cyclops got the same deal where he got some extra detailing on top of his blue, and I always call that Mezcoing it up. And Sideshow does it too, where they just add a little bit of flair to these standard spandex outfits. But for a character like Gambit, I think it really works more than it did on Cyclops. I think that his design, you know, it could accept these extra bits here and there a little more than I guess Cyclops can, because Cyclops was all that solid blue for so long, whereas Gambit always had these kind of highlighting on the legs. He had the armored shins. That those extra lines and stuff kind of work better for his outfit. He had these crisscross pattern on his neck armor, all that's here. So I think these Mezco detailing works more for this character than any other one that I personally own so far. It's all really well done and fits with the character. He's also got these nice little pouch things on the side, and I think those are meant to hold decks of cards, which is a nice detail. He's got an X logo belt, which has a nice metallic blue that matches his, you can see it as it catches the light there, that matches his shin armor, which that shin armor is awesome. It's so well done. The knee plate is separate from the rest of the boot, so it doesn't like have this like sticky out boot thing going on as you move the leg back. That's just really well done. And then it has the articulation hidden kind of underneath the boot as well, right at the ankle. Like I said earlier, the torso does not have any articulation due to the armor that he's wearing, but again, is a character that wears body armor, basically, pink body armor, and it's sculpted like muscles, so it's, what else are you going to do? I could see them maybe doing the same route they went with Iron Man, where it's like an actual body, this torso piece, but then it would have been tough to make the material stuff match up. I have seen people pop this thing apart, and I guess you could customize this in some way to get a joint inside there, but I'm not going to. It doesn't really interfere with the character too much to me that he only has a waist joint, that he's just missing a mid-torso joint. That's not a huge deal. Again, he is an acrobatic character, though, so that might be a big deal to you, but to me, not a big deal. Let's go over articulation since we're already talking about it. He does have a ball-jointed ankle, so that moves side to side and then all the way around. He's got double-jointed knees that can go all the way back to there, which is really nice. He's got hips that can swing out to about there. And then there's a rotation at the top of the hip. They can kick forward to there. And all the detailing that I talked about before, it isn't really interfering with that, because all the places where the joints are pretty much just that spandexy material. So it's not going to have like a big lump, where sometimes the characters have a very detailed outfit and it's got that plasticky stuff they put on top and it gets those bends and creases. With Gambit, almost all the joints are in areas where it's mostly spandex. You're not going to see that kind of folding plastic look. He does have rotation at the waist, but there's not much. It just goes to about there and about there, and past that it feels like it might be catching on something, or these side pieces might be interfering with it. I'm not going to push it any further than that. He probably does have a jointed torso under there, but again, I'm not going to pop mine apart. I think it's fine the way it is. He has shoulders that go up to there before the material starts to pull, and they can go back to about there. He does feel like he's got a slight, it feels like, yeah, it's a slight, yeah, there's a butterfly joint inside there. So that can kick back to about there. I don't know if you could see that well, but it can kick back to there and forward to there. And then the shoulders lift up to there. He does have double jointed elbows. That was a big area of controversy before. This would all be hindered by the jacket. When he's got the coat on, you're not going to get that much of a range of movement just because the nature of the coat. So you're going to sacrifice some movement when you get that coat on him, but Gambit needs to be wearing his coat. He's got rotation at the wrists where they peg on, and then I think, let me pop one of these guys off. Yeah, then we still got the hinge movement as well. So it'll hinge whichever direction you decide to roll that joint in, so you can have in and out or up and down. The neck is really well done. It's got the ball at the bottom of the neck and then a ball at the top of the neck, so you can get looking up to about there. Bring that down so you can see it better. You can look up to about there and then look down like that. The neck is very expressive. It's also really easy to pop the head off and on. for switching out the head. I get a little scared on the wrist sometimes, but the head switch out is very easy. Speaking of the head, we're going to get a closer look at it in a second here, but it's molded in that translucent type plastic that Mezco uses for flesh tone, which I think is really great. It makes it look more lifelike. Some of the pictures online, when you look at them, it's almost like it's too translucent, but in person, it looks great. It looks really nice the way the light catches it. Let's take a closer look at the accessories, and then we'll take a look at the heads. Okay, let's take a look at some of Gambit's accessories here. First of all, he comes with the standard Mezco circular base. It's got the nice X logo on it. I'm pretty sure this is the same exact style that we got with Cyclops and Tiger Stripe Wolverine, which is good because then they all match. It's got the usual Mezco thing where it comes with this flight stand. You push the flight stand in from behind, and it'll pop that peg out, and then you can use the flight display stand, which has multiple joints in it for nice aerial jumping type posing. My one gripe with these two gripes, is that they pick up fingerprints incredibly easily. It looks like it's already getting kind of scratched up just from me holding it and playing around with it. And the pegs, I'm not a huge fan of how short this peg is. Like, it feels like my fingers are going to fall off of them when I display my Mezcos on these stands. I wish the peg was a little bit taller, and the peg hole on the foot on Mezcos was a little bit deeper for sort of a tighter, sturdier fit with a Mezco stand. But it is a nice stand. All right, now I'm going to try and get some stuff out of here without knocking everything out. Let's start with this little guy. So you've got some charged card effects. Here's a single card charged up, and we're going to see a hand in a second here that has a little like space in between the fingers, so you can slip these in there. And then we've got the fanned out card effect. So there's multiple cards in there and this is all cast in this pinkish neon. It catches the light in such a cool way that it almost has like a neon effect to it. Really cool, cast in this pink translucent plastic. Then we've got one that's actually a hand attachment where it's got a charged card being thrown. You can actually see the paint app of the finger in there and there for his ungloved fingers. And even just like as I'm holding it, you can see the way the light's catching that. You give it this like nice, energetic, neon pink look. And then the last one, which I'm going to get out of here without knocking everything out carefully, is the coolest one of the bunch. And it's this fanned out 3-card effect where it has 3 thrown cards and then a bunch of energy trail and then the full hand inside there. Now, these hands on both this one and the charged one single throw, the hands aren't removable. These are permanently in there. But they do have full paint apps. As you can see, those ungloved fingers are inside there. And the little gray portion on the top of the glove is still painted gray. And then we've got his blue metallic staff, which I really like this staff a lot. The blue matches his boots, which is really cool. We've got more hands here. We've got, as my whole tray is starting to shift on me here, we've got these open hands here with the gray highlight on top. Something interesting about this, Gambit usually has his thumb exposed too, so Mezco decided to only do the 2 exposed fingers and not exposed thumb. And then we've got 2 gripping hands here. Come on out of there. We got 2 gripping hands, and these will be good for holding the staff. And lastly, we've got a hand that is sculpted to hold either one of the cards, which we're going to look at in one second here, or one of the charged effects. So it's got a little bit of space in between the fingers that you can slip either a charged effect or one of the plain cards inside there. And then as far as plain cards go, we've got one single plain card, and these are made of plastic and printed with plain card image on the back. And then we've got a single Ace of Hearts. And then here we have a Royal Flush. And then lastly, we've got a second head for Gambit that has more of a smirking look to it. And we're going to take a closer look at these heads now. Here's a closer look at the head sculpt that Gambit comes with on the figure stock. I love this job they did on both the peach fuzz and his eyes. He's got that light beard. The eyes, though, are really great. It's tough to get Gambit's eyes right. It should be, black, white areas of the eyes red irises and black pupils, and they've got that. They've got each of those details inside there. It's not just 2 red dots on black. It's black, red, black. The hair has a nice windswept sculpt to it, so it's going off to the side there. Really captures the character well. This would be good for like diorama posing, or a scene where there's a lot of action going on in a battle, where maybe you don't want the smirking head sculpt as much. You want a more stoic, fight-ready Gambit. But if you prefer the more charming Gambit, let's take a look at the other head. And this is the second head, the smirking head. It's got the same kind of nice paint detailing that we just went over with the first head, but now we've got the smirking expression, and I'm probably going to go with this one actually for display, because that to me is more Gambit-esque, to have him doing the slight smirk. It's more fitting of his character. Let's do some comparisons to close this thing out. Alright, here's some comparisons for you. First of all, here is Gambit next to the Marvel Legends Rogue and Gambit. So you can see that the height works great for these. If the only so Gambit was only 20 bucks. It's still a great figure. This coat really interferes with his posing and articulation though, so as far as that goes, this Mezco Gambit's going to win out, but of course you're paying $80 as opposed to $20. So if you want the posability on the Gambit for your Marvel Legends display, this is a good alternative to slap in there, and if you don't mind paying the extra fees for him. He looks great next to Rogue. He's the right size for Marvel Legends if you want to plug him in there. He doesn't look too skinny or too small. He looks just right if you want to put him in your Marvel Legends display, or if you want to put Rogue in your Mezco display and you want to pick up this Rogue, who's an expensive figure now, but they do look great together. And next we have Gambit next to a couple of other Mezco 112 figures. We've got him next to Cyclops and Wolverine, his X-Men Blue Team teammates. I have some custom trunks on my Jim Lee Cyclops. He just looked so weird to me without the yellow trunks. These look great together, and I just want more and more X-Men. I've also got Cable. I consider Cable more X-Force than I do X-Men, though, even though I have the blue and yellow one. I can't wait for Bishop to get here now. I just want more and more X-Men. I need some X-females, too. I want Rogue, and I want Phoenix. I want a original X-Men 5-figure box set. Just keep giving me X-Men, man. If they're going to be this nice, then keep bringing them. I do have some problems with Tiger Stripe Wolverine. I hope they go back and redo him in a more classic version later on. Now that I've thrown these trunks on Cyclops, I dig him a lot more. Gambit, though, is perfect right out of the box. Great figure. Like I said, he retails for $80, so you're going to have to be into Mezco 112s to be able to justify that price for yourself. But I think it's a great price for a great figure. It's like a scaled down Hot Toys with all those accessories and stuff. And I've always felt that way about Mezco. Yeah, I kind of have to pick and choose, but I pick and choose on Hot Toys too. It's not like I'm going to buy every single release. So for Mezcos, I only buy X-Men now. I've narrowed myself down to that, and I feel much happier. Although I am getting Conan, and I am getting Popeye Bluto. So take back what I said. I'm not limiting myself. I'm going to go crazy with Mezcos. So if you want to buy one of these, you can hit the links down below in the info, and it'll tell you where you can order one. If you enjoy the video, like, subscribe, notify, and I'll see you guys next time.